I'm here with Saints head baseball coach Mike Davidson and sophomore Jaxson Gregg, who just had something what we would call a dream, a fantasy that we all call. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Team is heading to the round of 8 at the Region 6 playoffs. They advanced to Wichita to play Johnson at 1 o'clock on Wednesday at Eck Stadium. First of all, congratulations, guys, for advancing. And it was pretty exciting at Brentwood Field last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great 2-game series. You don't really plan them out that way, but we're sure glad it came out in our favor.
And the team, won the first game 15-7, second game 21-18, and the reason why there was not a game 3, the person out over here, Jaxson Gregg, like I said, it's a dream come true, isn't it? Every kid dreams about it, getting up with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and looking to win it all, and you did.
Yep.
Have you ever had that situation before?
No, I've never hit that was my first ever grand slam too.
There you go.
Yeah, like you were saying, Phil, it's a dream come true, and I was just blessed enough to be able to put the right swing on it, and the wind was blowing enough that day. So
When you hit it, did you think it was out?
no, because I had hit 2 other warning track shots that day, so I'm thinking, great, there's my third, and all the other guys are gonna make fun of me, tell me weight room and all this. So I was just hoping it was gonna go enough, and it ended up going out. So very cool moment for sure.
Yeah. One of the things that is really funny, and I'll bring this back up again, is that before the game I asked you, like, how you feeling? And the first thing that you had said to me, like, talk to me after the game. And I guess you were feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah, after the game I was feeling great, Baseball is it's a funny game. It's a really funny game, and it's a humbling game. So to be able to do that.
It's kind of funny out over there, about the popularity of baseball, but the people that I've talked to and things like, wow, that was a great game. That was so exciting. That was great. And that was both 2 games, and they were. And people sort of forget how great baseball is, how exciting it can be.
Right.
Come down, and it's a great challenge. It's like mano a mano, just one against you, and you've got to it's either me or him, right? And this time it was you.
Yeah, this time.
So talk about, Coach, about the wins. The team actually rallied in both games over there. And again, I think that's been the MO of this team. This team is never out. We've seen them rally. I can't how many come from behind wins with this team. And even though that you guys were down, by 4. In that there was really no kind of a doubt, because this team basically has that gumption to come back, and we've seen it all season long.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really resilient. I mean, we had some comeback wins, we felt like, early on, and we played a lot of one-run ball games early on that we couldn't shut it down out of the pen. We scored enough runs to take the lead, and then we get walked off, and then some other things have happened. Defensively, we wouldn't make a play, we'd lose. But they've been tried and tested, along the way. And like I said, I've said this from day one, is these guys can take a punch in the mouth and keep going. You know what I mean? They don't quit. They continue to keep grinding and trying to find a way, and they'll play you till the last out, we were worried about going into game 1 because we had a week off and we didn't play. And you try to enter squad, but that's the last thing that these guys really want to do at that point, is hit off one of your teammates one more time. You've only done it 80 times this whole fall. So it's kind of hard to get any intensity out of it. But the good thing is they can see some live arms, see live pitching, and baseball is a game of reps. You got to see that to stay fresh. And so they did a good job of trying to maintain. We got out to a little bit of a slow start, and but Luna did his thing and gave us some zeros in there and gave us a chance. And then the same thing with Garza. Aiden unfortunately didn't get off to a great start, and just kind of let the moment be bigger than him. And he's better than that, and he knows he's better than that. And I expect him to come back and be good this week on Thursday. But man, Garza came in and a couple of loud hits there early, but then he put up I think 5 zeros in a row or 6 zeros and threw the ball really well. The last those middle 3 innings, he threw the ball really well, and we kind of mismanaged the bullpen. We were we should have had the bullpen ready to go before it was ready, as I did not want that game to get as close as it did. Right. After the first home run, I wanted to make a move, but unfortunately we weren't ready yet in the bullpen, and just some miscommunication on thoughts and what we were going to do. So, we got to clean that up as a coaching staff. We can't be a guy late this week. You got to be on top of it, and so. Unfortunately, too, we got to a point where we made the pitching change, and it worked. It was okay early, but then it didn't work out. And unfortunately, Dewey got a couple balls up in the wind. I mean, there's one thing the wind's blowing out 35-40. You can't hit a fly ball. You can't give up a fly ball. And so we made a decision that Dewey was going to be our last pitcher, win, lose or draw. Like we had to look. You have to look towards the next day.
Right.
And we had to have a bullpen, and we already had a starter, but we had to have a bullpen. So it was just kind of, man, hopefully Dewey can get this out of here with a chance to be within striking distance. And it was crazy because the way it set up, I thought, man, Tucker hasn't played a lot all year, and he comes up with the bases loaded, and he's got a chance to hit a grand slam to tie the game. You know what I mean? Right. And then, he gets the base hit, and you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen now? And a testament to Jaxson all year. I mean, he's one of the guys that usually you find him in the indoor hitting or on the outside hitting or coming to practice early to hit. I mean, there's not anybody that puts in more work, and hard work pays off. At the end of the day, and people that do things right and people that are good people. Baseball pays back, and so, I mean, a testament to him and who he is and what he has been in our program for 2 years. So, great moment for him to leave Seward County on, and hopefully he has a couple more in the next round and those things. But, I mean, couldn't be more happy for Jaxson and him, and his grandparents were here to see him, and I've known his family for a long time. I coached his dad, so I know his grandparents, and they're great people from Abilene, and they've been truly supportive of us and our program for a long time, and even when I was coaching his dad, and so it was awesome for somebody in his family to be here to see that. So cool moment.
And I'm sure that with him up at the plate, you're pretty confident if there's certain batters coming up. One of them that you want at the plate in that situation.
Sure. I mean, you would love to have your 3-hole up every time the game's on the line. 3, 4, and things. And yeah, there's been opportunities where Jaxson hasn't come through, but we're all that way. You know what I mean? And that's welcome to baseball. I mean, you can smoke a ball and in the scorebook it's an out.
Right.
But nobody looks up and says, man, he just lined that ball 380 feet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, again, it's a cool moment for him and his family, and what a great moment for us to get through and get to Wichita. And now you're 4 games away from going to the College World Series, and you never know what will happen. Baseball is a game of momentum, and all about getting rolling. And we need to get game one, and let's roll.
So Jaxson, talk about the team and the mental toughness of this team, never ever giving up or ever being back. I mean, something that, like I said, sort of team has built up all throughout the season. So I'm sure that being down 4, I kept on hearing from a lot of the kids, fire up, we can do this. And I'm sure that you were leading charge for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty scary thing for the other teams when you got a team like ours who doesn't give up. It's a pretty common phrase, don't give up or play to the last out, but to see it actually happen like over and over and over again, it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of. I mean, in the beginning of the season, like Coach was saying, we had a lot of really close games, a lot of one-run games that we lost that we should have easily had, and I think that's just part of us growing as a team and realizing like we have the ability to kind of turn off for a little bit and then okay guys, we actually got to go. So then we turn it back on and we'll fire it up, and it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of though, for sure.
Okay. All right, Coach. You guys are heading into the round of 8, and you guys will play the 2nd seed in Johnson. What do you guys know about them?
Well, we watched the games where they played Colby and talking to Colby and stuff. They just play baseball. They do run. They've got 3 or 4 guys who've got 15 or more stolen bases. So they're going to try to run a little bit, but nothing that like scares you offensively. They hit like we hit, but they don't hit the home runs. You know, they basically hit a lot of doubles, and they've got more triples and things like that. Stolen bases, and their first couple of arms are good. The kid that we should see, the left-handed pitcher, he's 10-0, has a 2.9 ERA, but you know what? Everybody's going to lose one at some point. So, you know what I mean? Why not us?
Sure.
You know, and it matches up well with us, with Luna, who is, I think, 10-1 on the year in his overall. And, I mean, he's like a 3.6, 3.5, so we're pretty close. You know what I mean? Apples and apples, and it's just going to be who wants to go out there and win, and who takes advantage of the opportunities that are going to be presented to them. And you never know. I mean, that's the greatest thing about baseball. You can't scheme it up. You know, everybody's got to hit, everybody's got to pitch, everybody's got to make a play. You know, we can't run Jaxson to the plate every time we need a run, you know? So, like they do in basketball and everything, you know? But so I think that's what makes baseball really fun to be around, because everybody has to do their part. Everybody has to do their thing. So we need some other people to step up, and hopefully they will.
Yeah, and it wasn't just, you know, I mean, like Jaxson had a great series. I think 5 or 6 RBIs for the whole series out of it. But you know, you had Elijah Bear, who, you know, Connor Cox,
Tristan
Perlis.
yeah.
He had a big grand slam to put you guys up. And so I'm like, so it's basically been really a team effort going in, and so you know, don't want to dismiss any of the team.
No.
You know, they're over there. And you know, the one thing that we had talked about was not beating yourself and the bullpen, and you know, you guys didn't beat yourself this time,
Right.
really. But more impressively, was the bullpen. Like you sort of said, Jacob Garza pitched really well over there at the bullpen. Elias Herrera gave you an inning into, you know, TJ shut the door down over there. You know, Brady paid, you know, and then you had the contributors all meeting at the greatest over there, but, you know, Brady and Duda, then they finished up and, you know, tried to go over there. So, you know, you guys got to be feeling pretty good going in, as we said, that if you don't beat yourself, the pitching holds up, the bullpen especially, and, you know, the hitting, you know, is there. So, I mean, you guys got to feel pretty good going in with, even though it's a little bit different over here, because now you got to win 4 straight.
Sure.
So you play 4 games now, but you got to feel pretty good though, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, people forget even Tucker Livermore. I mean, Tucker hasn't played hardly at all. He started out some games early on with us and had some issues with throwing and fielding, and kind of has worked through that and has played a little bit better. But I mean, I think Tucker was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs or something like that, and made a couple plays for us, and that was huge. You know, when Cameron comes up with that oblique strain and can't go, so we're going to be without him again, and so Tucker's going to have to fill in that spot, and we feel comfortable with him after what he did last weekend, and hopefully he steps up again for us. I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's going to take everybody before it's all said and done. And I think these guys kind of look at me like I'm crazy, you know, before it's all said and done. But the next thing you know, you look up and it's Tucker's in the game, or Rainey's in the game, or somebody else's. You know, we're plugging different people in that have to, because little injuries that come up here and there. So it's just part of it. And the team effort, I think, is what, you know, you talked about it earlier, that these guys really are a true team, I think, when it comes to that.
Yeah, one of the things that you had mentioned, you are beset, unfortunately, going in with injuries, and you're losing a couple of players. You Tristan is Carlos is definitely day-to-day big bat, but also an
Yeah.
arm out of the pen as well. You're gonna lose Cameron until the weekend. He's actually out completely.
Right.
And Todd Baffa is also may or may not, depending on how he. So you guys are going to be a little bit shorthanded, but that's baseball again. And with the team being a team, you have
Right.
people needing to step up if they need to. They're coming in, right?
Yeah, that's the whole part. I mean, Elias is even on a short lease a little bit. He's had some shoulder stuff and nothing really to worry about, but we're just trying to monitor it and not let it get over where it needs to be. But he's had a little tendonitis stuff, so that's why we didn't run him back out there to finish that game. And went ahead and brought our closer in and just say, here it is. We're going to win game one for sure, and assure yourself another day to play. So. But, yeah, unfortunately, Tristan has had a little bit of an injury pop up, and we feel like by Thursday we're going to be able to get him back. But he's day-to-day, but it's probably going to be Thursday before we see him again for sure, which is tough because, I mean, I think he's hit 6 home runs in the last, 6 games.
Yeah, he has 11 RBIs in the series.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job.
Right.
With Cameron going down and moving Rance to the leadoff, we put him in the 2-hole, and he still continued to chug along like he did the 6. So it's been a he's been that kind of that unspoken guy that's kind of laid in the weeds and just ambushes you. You look up, it's a grand slam, it's a 3-run, it's a 2-run. He's done a great job, but we're gonna miss him probably the first game of the playoffs, and somebody will step up. Well, somebody will step up and do the job. Rainey's done it before, or maybe Pitton. I don't know. We gotta put our heads together as a coaching staff and scratch around and look at matchups and see what might be the best option for us at this point.
Yeah. So, Jaxson, going to the playoffs over there to Wichita, what's your approach going in? And also talking a little bit about your sophomore going in. How do you sort of try to, lead the team a little bit, even though that you guys know that you have all these injuries, but, to sort of keep on going on and going forward?
Well, I think being a sophomore, like a lot of the other guys, we didn't have this opportunity last year. A year ago, yesterday, we were back home. Like, we were all home, and it was over. So to be able to go, I think a lot of us have a chip on our shoulder, and it's an experience that we're really trying to take in because we didn't even have that opportunity. I think we're going to be all right. We don't fear anyone as a team, and it's a pretty dangerous thing. We can hit with anyone, and we feel confident that we can make a run if we play the right way. So.
Yeah, I think that people are sort of sleeping on you guys if they just look at the rankings and the standings that see that you guys are a 7th seed, and if anyone's seen you guys play, certainly played a lot, can certainly stun anybody at any given time. And I think if you look at the record and the standings, it all shows that, especially the runs scored. So, okay, so the team goes over there, plays their first game in Wichita on Wednesday at 1 o'clock against the second-ranked Jaxson, and I'm sure it's going to be a great game. Don't know if the game will be streamed, or not, but you can check out Seward Saints social media or the college social media, and we'll let you know. Guys, best of luck to you, and good luck.
Thank you. Thanks, Phil.